We're smoking, baby. All right, we are back, baby. As you can see, everything looks a little bit different. So the hive is pink. We'll go into that in a little bit. It's in a totally different location. So as you know, if you've seen my previous videos, if not, quick recap. I got a package of bees that came mostly dead because it was delayed. I tried to help them survive, and they all died. Unfortunately, these gals have all passed. And we have totally restarted. Started from scratch a little bit later in the year than normal. But today we're going to do a hive inspection. We're going to check on these bees, see how they're doing. I checked on them last week or so, and they were doing much, much better. But now we are going to show you them in this current state. Now, we have some activity, which is a great sign. The swarm, or the colony that's in here now, was actually a swarm that was at my parents' place on the neighbor's house. A local beekeeper cut it out of their roof. He sold the hive to me. There were some transport issues. The hive that, the brood box or colony hive box that he put those bees in was old garbage, and those bees were everywhere. So I had to put them in the back of the truck, put the cap down, and drive home as best as I could. Yeah, we're going to open up, look in, and see how this is going. And yeah, we're going to see if we can find the queen. I couldn't find her last time because there were so many bees. It was pretty hard to find her. If I can find her, I got my little pen on my shoulder. I'm going to mark her, and that way it'll be easier to find her in the future. But we've had a lot of bees going in and out, so I think it's looking good. So let's get in there. I am going to use the smoker today because these bees are a little feistier than my last batch. When I was switching out the feeders, I didn't have my gear on or anything, and I tried to brush them away, and they were pissed. So I'm going to smoke them down a little bit just to try to calm them down. That way it might be a little bit easier to work with them and find what I need to find. It's also a torch. I watched a beekeeper online just use a torch to light his cardboard, and man, is that so much more effective than like a regular lighter and like little starters. So if you got a torch laying around, use it. Okay, maybe a little too effective. Need to smother this with some shit. Got a little fiery, so packed a bunch of dead leaves and shit on there, try to smother that fire out. But we're smoking, baby. Also, never hang your smoker on anything flammable, because those things, they cool off fast, but they get really hot really fast. So just be careful when doing that. All right, and putting my nitrile gloves on. So far, knock on wood, I'm probably going to regret saying this right now, I haven't been stung yet. Obviously, these are not sting-proof gloves, but from everything I've read online, bees don't think they feel like skin. So you're a little bit better protected, or they're less likely to sting. The other thing is that, you know, there's a lot of honey and stuff in there and propolis that's all sticky, so helps keep your hands clean. There actually is a little bit of moisture in the hive right now. Like, we've had some real heavy rain, so it's kind of damp on the inside. I want to, you know, wipe it down a little bit. Need to find a rag. All right, well, first up, we've got quite a bit of comb stuck to the lid. There's a fallen soldier right there. But they're in here and they're working, so always check the bottom of the lid because they tend to build on here a lot. Now, these are a little stuck down, which is a good thing. All right, so we got some bees on this frame, but no comb buildage yet. All right, and here we go. Our first frame with some comb. We got quite a few bees working. We finally have them building comb in an appropriate way, so that's awesome. Now, This all looks pretty fresh. This is a couple frames in, and it looks like there's just some honey and pollen in there. Nothing too crazy just yet. But the next one over looks a little different. And actually, this frame is very, very full. So I'm going to pull another one out that's empty. So again, a young colony. That's why I have that follower board in there, because they haven't spread to everything yet. So I need to make a little bit of space to get this out because there's so much on it. And that's what I'm talking about, baby. Look at that. That is a frame that is filling up beautifully. Now, they're building comb in essentially the right pattern. If you can see right here along this stretch, it's kind of building outward. And there's a reason for that, which is kind of unfortunate. But one good thing, and it might be a little hard to see on here, there's larvae. So my queen is here. Where she is, I have no idea. But we'll find her eventually. The one thing I've learned is that queens are mighty elusive. And unfortunately, some of those like sideways cells were brood cells. So when I pulled this off, some of them kind of cracked away, which is unfortunate. But there's a lot of capped brood in here, which is great, great news. We love that. All right, gotta switch to handheld for a minute here. So they've actually built quite a bit of comb on the side wall of the hive, which I'm glad they're building, but I don't want them over here. Now, if I leave them too much space, they're just going to continue to freeform this, which is not at all what I want. But I mean, you can see there's a healthy amount of bees in here, which I can't be mad about at all. I love that there are so many bees in here and this colony is getting real strong. But again, I can't do anything with those bees on the edge there. So I'm going to try and, relocate some of them. The other thing I'm going to do is some of this, they're building on top. They're bridging these combs together, and I need them to not do that. So I'm going to take my hive tool and just do a little scrape ski off the top here. And they're not happy that I just did that, but that's okay. Oh, and this, I don't know if you can see him, that little black guy, that's a small hive beetle. He is now dead. So when I got this hive, the guy put old comb in it from a different hive that he had that he wasn't using. And it had small hive beetle in it. Now, I tried to get rid of as many as I could whenever I was originally putting this hive back together. But I didn't have, I couldn't tell what was where. So I tried to get as many of them gone as I could. But, obviously some stragglers remained. I'm just going to kill them as I see them and try to make sure none remain in the hive, because small hive beetle will screw with your hive, and I don't like them. So they'll all die. My only real concern at this moment, though, which is, a big win, is that my queen is hanging out on that wall where I can't actually see anything or get to the bees. So, you win some, you lose some. That's a pro for sure. This is damp, and I need it to not be damp. Is swinging this around the best way to do this? No, but I don't have a rag with me right now. So just wipe out as much of the water as I can. All right, so they're sealed back up. The big wins about today. No sign of ants in the hive, which, thank God. There is cap brood, there's fresh larva, there's honey, there's pollen. They're filling out the frames in the way they're actually supposed to. Um, Obviously, this time around, starting with the stronger colony, doing it a little bit differently, being a little more hands-on has definitely helped me. They are healthy. They are happy. We are nowhere close to being able to put a super on this yet. I don't know if I'll be able to harvest honey this year, being as that it's still June. And, my box isn't even filled out yet. My biggest priority this year is to get this colony built to the point where it can survive the winter. So, we probably still have 4 months before it starts getting real cold again. Based on the speed at which they're progressing, I'm fairly happy with that. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to pull honey this year. But, that's okay. First year, there's a lot of learning. I'm just overall very genuinely happy that these bees are alive. They are building. They're growing in number. So, hey, I am very, very happy. Overall, this is a big win. If you'd like to kind of continue to watch my beekeeping journey, please follow along, subscribe down below. If you want to know more about Primal Bee, this crazy hive right here, they're all white to start, not pink, just so you're aware. Check out the link in the description. It's right at the top of the description. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, please drop a like, give me a comment, let me know what you think I could be doing better, any tips for growth, and we'll see you in the next one. This little guy. These are the bees that I have now. If you know what species they are, that'd be cool if you could let me know.